absolutely crush white with the Dark Knight Gambit. The Dark Knight Gambit starts after white plays these opening moves. The Italian game. To play the Gambit, black responds with knight f6, inviting white to play the fried liver. Now there's many common counter gambits to the fried liver, but we're going to look at the Dark Knight Gambit. If you get this position as black and white goes for the fried liver, play knight captures on e4. This looks ridiculous because now your own knight is simply hanging. However, if your opponent takes your knight, you uncork d5, forking the knight and the bishop in the center of the board. If your opponent chooses to take back with the queen. If they attack your queen, move away, and you just have a very comfortable position. If your opponent retreats the bishop this way, simply take the knight, they'll capture back, and you also have a very comfortable position. However, after you take the pawn, you want your opponent to capture here, seemingly forking your queen and your rook. Your opponent will realize this is a mistake, however, after you play queen h4. This move threatens mate in 1, and they can't simply play g3. If they play g3, you take the pawn, and now their rook and bishop are attacked, and once the bishop is captured, the knight will be captured. So they have to defend mate in 1 this way, but when they do that, you play knight d4, attacking the queen again. If their queen escapes this way, well, you can win the game with this fork. If the queen escapes this way, they've given up mate in 1. And if their queen escapes this way, you can still do this check, and then after the king's only move to this square, you play d5 and preparing your bishop to come out and checkmate. So what happens if after you take the pawn, they take this way with the bishop instead? This is actually white's best move, but black is still okay if you play correctly. You're forced to move your king up, and if they take your knight, you take the bishop back. And if they keep attacking you with their queen, you can actually go back to your starting square, and this is completely fine for black. d4 is the best move, but then you can simply play h6, and if they take, you take the bishop again. And if they check you again, this time hide your king this way, because if you hide your king this way, they have the nasty queen h5 check. But if you hide the right way, again, black is still fine. And the good thing is, most white players will not find this move, so you can play all the traps. Because after all, a free knight and a fork are more enticing. So what are you waiting for? Go play the Dark Knight Gambit. Make sure to subscribe on YouTube at Will to Chess.